Hey there, this is Talon Lee, and this once more is The Swindle. Now, after some fairly fruitful harvesting, we are at 20 days and The Swindle itself. So some quick details about what we did and why. Triple jumping, and that's just handy. It just gives you more mobility and more options. It lets you do riskier things. Movement speed, again, this is just useful mobility stuff. The more control you have over yourself as you move around the level, the more stuff you'll be able to try and pull off. Wall jumping, I can definitely see reasons that you wouldn't need these, but this last level, Spring Heeled Jack, resets your double jump every time you grab a wall, which makes climbing very quick, very easy, and it also means that you have a degree of flexibility when going up a wall and knowing when you have to ration out your double jumps. Stealth and falling, also, these things are just handy. Like, you could quite easily attempt the swindle without either of these. They're just good insurance policies. Hacking, you do need to have level 3 hacking to get through the security stations that make up the bulk of the final thing. Speed is just nice. Hack aptitude stops being useful once you've got all the upgrades you want. Melee strength. I actually really recommend going into the swindle with maxed melee strength, because monsters in guards in the swindle take somewhere between 6 and 9 base strength hits. That takes forever if you've got the base level of attacking, and going through and never being detected and never fighting a robot isn't very likely. Bionic eyes, you will need to find the basilisk in the final level, so having the ability to look around is more valuable. The teleporter is the big one. The teleporter is so useful and so powerful, there's an achievement for taking out the swindle without it. It lets you the teleporter lets you jump basically 2 squares ahead and ignore all the obstacles between you. You can use this to cheekily avoid a guard turning around, to find passages through places, avoid breaking barricade glass. There's just so much you can use the teleporter for. You'll hopefully see some of that. Now here's the big one. Bombs. The basilisk will almost always be buried. There will be brickwork around it. You will need bombs to get at it. And odds are good you will also need bombs to get at the other security stations around the swindle. That's just how they've decided to balance this. So all of these are useful. We're going to be dealing with new upgraded bomb strength, which means instead of blowing up a 3x3 bomb area, we're going to be blowing up a 5x3 area, which is... you've got to bear it more in mind. For the most part, though, everything else is just nice to have. Insurance policies, not essential. The Steam Purge, for example, sometimes I go through an entire swindle and don't remember I've got it. Steam Purge Recharge, if you never use your Steam, then you'll never need this. The Auto Steam Purge is kind of like a get-out-of-jail-free card. It lets you get detected once, and then it fires off and protects you. Bugs, again, Dan likes them, I'm not wild about them. The remote detonators, I do find these super valuable as a way to take out guards that gather around generators and to set off mines at a distance. There aren't mines in the swindle, but there are generators. Bot Confuse and EMP, I'll show them off, but they're not necessary by any measure. Finally, you will almost certainly need the Security Station Locator app. This makes things really easy by comparison. I've done the swindle without this upgrade, and it is incredibly annoyingly hard, because you've got to just look around the map for all the security stations, and there's going to be multiples. Finally, you do want all the upgraded levels of access, obviously. The hack station is something that lets you recover a couple of extra days, but it becomes very expensive. So if you find yourself like really getting close to the time limit, like 3 or 4 days, the hack station will usually give you about a week of extra time for an affordable amount of money. But beyond that, it's not worth it. Police interference. These do not seem to do anything at all on the actual swindle, so I tend not to bother with them at all. They don't seem to be worth it to me. Steam Purge means that once you get to your pod, you are cloaked in steam, and that means that you aren't going to be shot. It basically means that getting to your pod is the way you finish the level, not getting to the pod and then completely getting inside it. scrapyard's just something nice for making money. Alright, so with that rundown of our upgrades, and I mean, we got all that in 20 days. That's not a very difficult, I know I got a lot of ghost bonuses, and I know I got a good multiplier, and I know we're still using Henry Beresford, so obviously I'm doing okay, but, you know, if you just practice and try at it, you will probably find that you can do this kind of thing too. And if you can't, that's okay. Not everything is for everyone. Alright, in we go. Now, the Swindle is slightly different. Slightly. Okay, it's really different to most other heists you deal with. First things first, when you fail, if you die, or if you set off an alarm and leave, you will have to come back and re-earn access to the Swindle. Alright? So, if you look around, get a couple of computers, decide you can't get the rest conveniently, and decide to bail on it and come back later, that's not failing. That's fine. Alright. Now, we can look at our arrows here for our computer indicators and see that mostly they're pointing up and away, and the furthest one is about 169 meters, so we're probably not going to have to go too far. About 3 or 4 screens over. Alright, so that means they're probably all in a fairly dense area. Okay. Yeah, you see as you get closer, they spread out. So mostly, this looks like what I call a tower. I like doing towers. You need to use usually less bombs. They're much more about finding a path up through an elaborate structure like this one. And I mean, oh, look at that. That's just lovely. And we can probably teleport up through that rock there. Hup. There we go. And turn around, sunshine. Bop, 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 bop. Yeah. Nice and easy. Safe. Taking it easy. Oh, hello. That's annoying. So you see there how there's no convenient route into that area over there? That's gonna need a bomb to get into. And you have a limited supply of bombs, so you need to make a plan. Also, you see that down there? That red light? That little chamber? That's the Basilisk in the bottom right corner of the screen. You need to find that. That's part of the challenge. Now, the good news is that we can see a way to find it and get to it with only 2 bombs, which means all 8 of our other bombs can be dedicated towards that task. Let's hack this drone just to show you what it does. Get up. Now, these little drones, they try, but they're a bit garbage. Because they can't shoot very accurately, and they don't actually do a lot of damage. About as much as hitting with your Kosh normally does. Also, they can sometimes break down doors, which you may not actually want them to do. So we're going to leave them behind, teleport out. And we're making our path, right, out to the Swindle. Sorry, out to the Basilisk. So we'll put a bomb here, and that's going to blow up a 3x5. That little alcove up there also means that we can plant a bomb and immediately scuttle upstairs and not have to scuttle up into that space and not have to worry too much about getting caught by this security camera. I mean, when the time comes to actually go for the Basilisk, that area is going to be that camera is going to be off, so it's really not even that important. Okay, we wait until it's turning away to maximize the amount of time we have. We set a bomb and we leave. Alright. Now to look down again. Check it out. We have a path to the Basilisk. We cannot get access to the Basilisk until we have successfully deactivated all of the security stations. So there's really no point to getting cute here. Okay. There's another security station. Great. This is coming out really nicely. Okay. And We don't need to do anything with those fellows. We just leave them alone. Okay. That's a little annoying. Tell you what, let's very gently suggest. Oh nuts! I just made my problem worse. All right, well let's make sure this area is a little safer, and that's the big thing. We're mostly just working in terms of safety, making it so that we can just prune away the things that make our life difficult, and then very quietly replace them. All right. Okay, now you can see our security arrows for the remaining stations are pointing kind of downward. That means that they're probably, if this is a tower like I think, it's probably going to be easily accessed by reaching down from above. You know, going over the top and working from there. Though, tell you what, this is a perfect opportunity to use the remote detonator. But let's see. Alright, let's show off how the bot confuse works. For a start, bot confuse is huge! Second, you have to hold it down and hack it. Now, these Burks will all shoot at each other. They're not actually very bright. And they'll basically drop an EMP grenade at their feet, and... Okay, that worked out way better than I expected it would. That was totally unnecessary, but that's what they'll do. The coppers with the Koshas will also prove to be pretty vicious when they're confused. They will usually dart straight towards someone and knock them out cold. Oh, there's the other station. That's pretty cool. And we can get to it without using a bomb. Alright. And that means the other two over there. Let's just... Okay. Pop. Pop. Oh. That was easy. Alright. And there's our last security station. So we're almost done. This is almost a really easy swindle, actually. 2 stations to go. So there's that one downstairs. Like, no one up there is bothering us. Like, we don't have to go up there and bother them. You do want to be careful around the drone spitters. I don't know what to call them. Alright, now let's use an example of the EMP. Now, EMP is a little bit smaller than a bomb. Actually, no, it's slightly taller than a bomb, but that's all it does. It's just an area effect. Pop everyone in this zone in particular. It can also blow up shutters, which means it's a way of clearing a path downward if you happen to be next to or directly above a shutter. Okay, we want to make sure we're not too close to the generators when we blow them up. So, all right, now fastest route to that. I can see a path that only takes us 2 bombs, but we've got 8 bombs and we don't need them, so I'm going to take a slower, safer path that doesn't really show off. Because again, once a security station has been hacked, you can just shut it off. I just had the paranoid terror of what if I'm not actually recording. Oh god. I'm recording, everything's fine. Alright. Right. And now we've got a clear path down. Now, don't get silly. Don't get silly at this point, because it is actually entirely possible to get spotted while you're hacking the Basilisk and get ruin the whole thing. Because you can't hack it once the alarm's been sounded. You need to get in there undetected. But on the other hand, we are doing all right. 2 of these dudes, but they move in more or less synchrony, so they're safe to hit together. And yeah, I've used Bot Confused and I used EMP Charge to show you how they work, and yeah, time to go. Grab it and run. Bye! And that's that. That's the swindle. And now we, with the Devil's Basilisk, can clearly use it to amass a truly outrageous pile of riches, or maybe that's just the money we already accomplished and we're going to destroy this tool of the surveillance state. I don't know. It's up for your interpretation. So that was a 22-day run. I understand that the world record is 13 days, which it may seem like I got close with 22, but I cannot impress upon you just how much faster 13 is than 22. It's not roughly twice as fast. It's probably closer to 3 or 4 times as fast. It's probably a bunch of ghost runs that were almost perfect, and also good luck on the number of computers you got in every single level. Like, I don't know how you do that without also being lucky as well as good. Alright, but still we got an A+. It's time for Henry to retire. And now we get the credits. I have played this game now for about 500 hours. I've commented on the speedrunning community because I understand that one must exist, but I've never gone looking. The subreddit for this game is actually quite quiet, I don't know who else is playing this game, but I love this game to pieces. I had a lot of fun playing it. I learned it in a very manual way. I started out very much convinced that I would never be good at this game, and even now, even though I can, like, demonstrably I'm not bad at this game, I still think of myself as pretty garbage at this game because I know that there's someone out there who managed to pull it off in 13 hecking days. And yeah, also I guess as a point of disclosure, I'm kind of friends with Dan Marshall and Lot. Lot's surname just scrolled past, and I, honest to goodness, forgot it, so I'm very sorry. Yeah, I guess that's it. I just wanted to include the credits because it's a little bit nice to do that kind of thing sometimes. Any questions? Anything you want me to provide as input next time? This would mark my 200th swindle, of which 146 have been successful on this install. My laptop has another install, and that has another set of statistics. Anyway, The Swindle is a lovely little indie game. It's definitely worth checking out, and I really love it. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope I've been interesting and fun to watch.